My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video. So obviously, you probably get the point by now that a brother wants to talk even more about The Last of Us. I am doing my second playthrough currently. I beat it on hard the first playthrough, and now I'm doing hard plus, and then after that, right, our brother's about to do that survivor difficulty, and I'm hearing that difficulty is no joke, so our brother's just getting prepared for that, you know. But the gaming season is slowed down. There's really no big games coming out till like September. It all starts in September with Grand Theft Auto 5, and then October, November, stuff like that. So the gaming season is slowed down. I'm still playing, really the only 3 games I'm playing currently: The Last of Us, bro, Battlefield 3, and Injustice: Gods Among Us, you know. And you know, so I was playing The Last of Us, and personally, this game, I mean, you guys, I mean, this shouldn't come as a shock to you guys, but this game is my game of the year for 2013. I know we still have other games coming out, but as of right now, unless Grand Theft Auto 5 is the next best thing since fried chicken with hot sauce, as of right now, or Watch Dogs, as of right now, The Last of Us is game of the year. I don't care what no one says. This game is one of the best games I have ever played in my entire history of video games. This game is being labeled a masterpiece. It's getting perfect scores, stuff like that. However, as good as The Last of Us is, I personally feel this game could have been even better. Now, you ask yourself, well, how is that possible, my black brother? Well, I'm gonna tell you. The Last of Us, we all know the story's great, okay? If you have The Last of Us and you have yet to play the story and all you've been playing is the multiplayer, if you're a gamer, okay, and you love video games that have a great storyline to them, The Last of Us is one of those games you have to experience. I don't care if you have an Xbox 360, a Wii U, a Nintendo 3DS, an Atari, a Game Boy Color in this sucker. That rhymed. But I don't care what you have to experience this game's storyline if you love stories in video games, okay? Some people are not into it, but if you do love a great storyline when it comes to games, you have to experience The Last of Us. One of the best stories I've played in quite a few years. Like, I put this game's storyline up there with Metal Gear Solid. Of course, Metal Gear Solid is still better because that's a franchise and it's been worked on for a lot more years than The Last of Us. But as far as video games that have great storylines, I put it up there with Metal Gear Solid. The Last of Us is up there. It is a great story, one of the best stories I've played in quite some time. But this game, as good as The Last of Us is, you know, the storyline is great, the multiplayer is good, as good as this game is, okay? The story for The Last of Us could have been better. I'm telling you guys right now, the story for The Last of Us, it could have been way better. And here's where I'm going with this, okay? My brother was thinking about The Last of Us and Telltale Games The Walking Dead. Now, some of you guys might know where I'm going with this, okay? But the storyline in The Last of Us, it's really set in stone. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how you play. The story, it's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen, okay? There's no choices that you can make to change the outcome of the game, nothing. You're not even allowed to make choices in The Last of Us. And then I was thinking about Telltale Games The Walking Dead and how that game's storyline, a lot about that story is based on the choices and the decisions you make, and based on that, it can change the outcome of some events that happen in the storyline. And I was thinking, dang, if The Last of Us story kind of had something like what The Walking Dead does, to where you can make choices and decisions, and based on that, different things can happen. Tell me this game wouldn't have been way better. Like say if based on the choices you made in The Last of Us, like it could change the outcome of some events that happen. Like some characters might have not died and they would have stayed alive, and then some characters that stayed alive, they might have died. Like it just could have added such a different aspect to The Last of Us storyline. Are you feeling me, my brothers and sisters out there? Can I get an amen in this side? Okay. But you know, I'm feeling like, yes, The Last of Us storyline, great storyline. It was one of the best storylines I've experienced in quite some time. But it could have been even better if they allowed you to make choices and stuff like that. And say if it had, like, say if The Last of Us, it had, you know, different endings based on the way you played. Like, say if it was something like, what's that game called? Heavy Rain, you know, where that game has different endings. You know, if you were able to make choices in the storyline for The Last of Us, and based on, you know, the way you played, it had different endings like Heavy Rain. Son, this game could have been that much better. It's a great game, but it could have been even better, man. And I'm like, dude, if this game ever turned into a franchise, if The Last of Us 2, man, The Last of Us 2, if The Last of Us 2, let's just say, hypothetically, The Last of Us 2 comes out, I would want to have something like what Telltale Games The Walking Dead does, to where you can make choices that can change the outcome of certain events that will happen, and I would like it to have different endings. It could just add so much more to the story, okay? And you know, again, as good as this game is, this game had the potential to be one of the best games. I mean, it already is one of the best games ever, but it had the potential to be so much better, you know. And it just kills me to see that, like, dang, if they just added this one thing, this story could have been way better than what it is. And I'm just like, god damn. But if The Last of Us 2 comes out, who knows? Maybe they might do something like that. But you know, what are you guys' thoughts and opinions? Should they have kept the story just the way it is, or should they have added something like what Telltale Games The Walking Dead does, to where you can make choices and decisions that can change the outcome of events and add different endings to the storyline? You know, you guys leave your thoughts and your opinions and stuff like that. And it's time to get back to playing The Last of Us, bro.